I'm like, oh, I'm not recording. I double clicked it. That shit was 2 seconds. I said, son, why me? Why like this? Man, I just heard something tragic, son. One of my friends, he was kind of in a relationship for like 9 years, and tried and was about to like, yeah, I think he was engaged and he got left for someone
Wow.
else. 9 years, son.
Oh,
He's 30
fuck.
and he's 33. He's like a lawyer and stuff too. Like it's not like he has a bad job or nothing. I'm like, son, I I just
Nigga, what?
I
I
felt.
got no hope.
Oh, this is how I feel when I hear shit like this. I'm like, son, wait. Reminds me of my cousin. Remember I told you my cousin? I told you he's like good looking. Man is 6'3". Oh, son, I said, bro, if that happened into you, hey man, stay safe, my friends. Stay.
9 years? Nigga, Lloyd? Oh, oh, help
Maybe because
me.
he's not 6 feet, he's 5'10". I don't know.
Wow.
That's just unfortunate. You could hate me if you must, must, must. Yeah. You're a nagger. You're a nagger. You're a nagger. Wait, what did I say?
Your love will save the world.
Hey! He will say
You're a nagger. You're a nagger.
Oh, I was making sure the.
Oh, shit.
If you must. Just mustiness. Yes, sir, Abdel, my guy, my brother, my friend. How goes it? The work day's over, I'm assuming. You can chill out for a little bit. You like one of the people like, damn it, you streaming in the day? I'm at work. Everyone else is like, oh, what, you're not streaming at like fucking 12? I can watch. I never win. Niggas
No?
never lie. Alright. Let us switch the screenery. You already know, guys. It's time to talk about some games. Some games. We are here with the what episode is this? Sixth episode of the Frame One broadcast. Back like we never left. Brago stole that line from me. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. If he says it was his line, he's lying. It was mine. How you doing, brother Simi?
I am just dandy. It's hump day. Well, hump day done. Halfway through the week. It's 2 more days for the weekend come. You already know how it do. You know what I'm saying? We out here doing nothing. We just sitting down, existing.
Yeah.
Shit.
We are here. Feeling I'm good, man. I'm good. I just came back with a thing with my friend. We just got some food. What's up, clans? Working 50 hours now, so I'll be missing a few things, unfortunately. Damn, you sound like me now. You about to hit the 60 hours, man? How do you make
Ugh.
that sound hype? I don't know. You just it is what it is. But yeah, we're gonna talk about some Vidya. It's been a while. I think it's been like 2 months since we did one of these, and then I'll definitely get me and Glamourino to do the comic book one. But before we even dive into anything at all, what have you been playing, man? What have you
Um,
or played recently since the last time we did this?
yeah, I mean, I haven't really been playing nothing at all. I kind of fell off, but I just recently beat a video game last week or a few days ago. Beat old Quantum of Solace, that old James Bond fella.
Yeah.
I just decided to randomly play a 007 game. It was fun. I had a good time. That
Mm-hmm.
shit was real. I played it for a total of $3.99, and I got like 4 to 5 hours of hilarity. Shit was fun. But other than that, I've been playing Battlefield 4 campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Two games came out recently that I was looking forward to. I bought them, but I ain't um I ain't playing them yet. One is the Forgotten City that's been in development for fucking 4 years or so. I just bought. That came out today. I mean, and the other one second. Sorry, it's an old game. Old in some no my fault. Free Radical Design game,
Mm-hmm.
and it was already out on freaking Steam, but I want to get the Steam version. I waited till the GOG version came out and I bought that. But yeah, I've just been chilling. I haven't really been gaming as hard as I have been the past few years. Ever since I reached that goal of 50 games beat in a calendar year, I said, all right, I could chill out now. So there's like a 3 month gap, 2.5 to 3 month gap since I beat Quantum of Solace and whatever the fuck the last game I beat was. I gotta freaking check my log, but
Mm-hmm.
I've been chilling.
Yeah, me and you probably haven't played too much recently. I know you have to go back to the regular scheduled program to some degree too, and I'm busy. I've been reading a lot of psychology stuff, but what's up, Cage, man? It's been I'm doing well, man. This is the best I've been in a really long time. I'm doing really really well. It's good to see you, man. I hope you're good. Yeah, I can't really think of anything aside from really Mario. What's the game called? Super Rush, Super Golf. Shit, I don't remember what it's called. But Mario Golf, and I played the shit out of that. I got like 70 hours in that game. I won't lie to you. Cause it's one of those things too where I can just turn it on and relax and do what I'm doing. I could be in a stream because I play it slowly, methodically, all that, whatever. I golf on my pace. You feel me? Even if it's speed golf, you know what I'm talking about. I'm nice. I'm nice at speed golf. What's up, Zodiac? What's poppin'? How you doing, brother? I got something for you on the way. By the way, let's just say your boy's been reading some hardcore gamer. We'll leave it at that. But yeah, Mario Golf is often considered the gameplay itself is fun. I like some of the animations and everything, but there isn't actually much to do. So like if you like don't enjoy just like the core golfing, which I do, I wouldn't recommend it now. But speed golf is kind of fun. Other than that though, it's been the Streets of Rage DLC, the Mr. X Nightmare stuff. Me and my friends have been playing that. I changed my main of that game from Cherry Hunter to Shiva. I love Shiva, even though his voice is fucking horrible. Well, about some Final Crash. I'm like, bro, who is this? Turn it off. Turn it off. About Final Crash. I said, bro, he sounds horrible, but yeah. Then, what you can see on the screen right now, I've been waiting for this game for a really long time. Chris Tales. You see Chris Bell right there and Matthias the Frog. Yes, sir. I'm a mage. We're going to talk about that game in a second. But that's what I've been playing for the most part. I'm on my second playthrough of Chris Tales. I like it a lot. It's really good. Before I transition more into that, Sim, anything you want to say? Chime in? Or
Nah.
okay, I'm gonna switch these topics real quick because it makes no sense to not talk about this. I'm talking about Chris Tales. Let me slurp this game real quick. Hold on. Let me tell y'all about this game.
Yummy.
But okay. What did he say? KJ was good, bro. You know, you can set me up. I'm on Discord. If you, oh, I didn't. I thought he was like. I don't know if he was busy or something. I don't know. Sometimes when I don't see people, I just assume they need like a online little break. You know. I got crystals on my Switch. It looks mad fun. I'm about to explain why I really like it. So to me, this is a JRPG done right, and maybe there isn't any real way to do a JRPG right. But for me, I'm not a fan of turn-based combat. Honestly, I'm not. Am I loud?
He's not finding my ear.
Okay. Let me know if I'm loud, guys, because I feel like my mic aux thing is in the red. I don't know, but it's to me. If you're gonna like a turn-based fighting game, I think you need to do two things. I honestly think you need to simplify it to some degree. Like I don't like a lot of these games where I have to constantly pause the screen to change the most mundane things. Fucking bronze armor, the bronze armor plus for one more attack and shit like that. I don't need that. That's annoying. This game to me, my favorite thing about it, I'm gonna get to like the actual gameplay and combat and artistry and everything. My favorite thing about this game to me, it feels there's absolutely no padding in the same vein that I felt Indivisible was like the perfect length. There was like the exact right amount of bad guys. You do not need to grind. Grinding is not necessary. You can just chill out. You can just fight the bare minimum enemies and you'll be okay as long as you're like not brain dead. You know what you're doing. And I appreciate that. They didn't feel like I was doing any needless backtracking. I didn't feel like any storyline went on too long. I didn't feel like any character arc, stayed past its welcome. Like, I think you should be able to beat this game within 26 hours on average. It took me 34, but I play notoriously slow. I think it's a really good length. And because there's multiple endings and you can make different types of choices, I think it has a lot of replay value. Like with my second playthrough, what I've done is I've made different decisions than I did from the first game. So I'm gonna give you an example of one because it's in the demo, so I don't feel like it's a spoiler. You have to choose basically between saving like a random person's home and the apothecary. Now I'm gonna choose the apothecary because to me, logically, it makes more sense. The part of the city where we make medicine, we make things to save people and keep them healthy. Sorry, it's more important than some random person's house. But I actually seen that nigga homeless later. I felt bad. You know what I'm saying? So, I can make the opposite decision and see how it plays out. And also, I'm using different party members this time around. So, it's been great for that. Look at the chat real quick. No, it sounds great. Okay, I have Twitter for my sake. First, I understand. Twitter is terrible. I get it. You've been streaming? Okay, I have to catch them. Kids, you know, using new camera. Trying to upgrade my streams and content. I feel that. Yeah, now from the combat standpoint, I actually really like the time mechanic. I will say this. You can kind of brute force the game, honestly. You don't actually have to really master it to that degree, I would argue. If you're a brute force physical type of person, you could still get through the game. But I like to use the time mechanic. So just for anyone who doesn't know, in Chris Tales, the game is generally, when you're walking around, it's divided into 3 triangles. The middle part is where you are always at. That's the present time. The right side is the future. The left side is the past, right? Because you're a time mage, the things you do in the past can affect the present and the future. So what's interesting about the combat is I can plant a Euchondra plant that will take 4 turns to poison all the enemies on the right side. If I invoke a future crystal immediately, that plant will activate right away, and they will even sometimes, like if they're poisoned, I can activate the future crystal to make them take all the poison damage they would have taken over the accumulation of 4 turns all at once. Then you could do those shenanigans with the past cells. But also, most monsters have 3 stages. And sometimes if you might have like an elderly goblin, you put them in the past, but now you've put that goblin back in its physical prime. It's actually stronger. Its defense or attack power and HP is higher. And conversely, you can make something weaker because now it's more elderly or it's frail as a baby. So playing around with those mechanics to me has been extremely fun and exciting. Especially when you get this one party member that has the ability to move the enemies from one side of the screen to the other. Because usually, if you're on the left side, you can only evoke the past crystal. Right side, only future crystal. With this party member, you can hit enemies all over the place if you want to actually use one time against them. So it's really, really fun. I love the game. It's really good. It's on everything, isn't it? It's on Xbox stuff.
It's on Game Pass.
It's on
Wait
Game
up,
in 2021. It's on Game Pass. It's on Switch. It's on PS4. It's on PS5. It's on your cock. It's everywhere. Okay.
It's on dick.
It's on your ass. It's on your mama. I'm joking. If the game isn't on PS2, I'm good. I'm staying in the golden.
Wow.
Honestly, I respect it. The mechanics are really fun to mess with. Yeah, it's super, super, super dope. Shout out to Nye. He's no shit to get shook. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of in there. Last thing I'll say is the artistry. I think is really good. And what shocked me is that this is one of the few games I've seen where everything is voice acted. This randomest, stupidest NPC has a different voice, and I think it's usually if you find some random NPC, they might just have some dickhead from who draws backgrounds. Just say this line. I'm going to the store. They sound awful. Everyone sounds good. Everyone sounds good no matter who you're talking to. It's a small thing, but I appreciate the little thing. So I think the game has been fantastic. I'm enjoying my time with it, and I enjoyed my first playthrough. Yeah. All right. Now Pokemon Unite some dick. That game trash. Stop playing it.
I wouldn't know nothing about that. I don't play with Pocket Monsters.
See, it's literally Pocket Monster meet MOBA or League or I don't know Smite, one of them. I don't know. I can't tell, but I'm not a League guy, and I definitely don't give a f about Pokemon. So merging those things together, it's like a slap in my face. I don't like it. Nah, and every one of my Switches played it. It looks like
I didn't even know that thing was a fucking. I didn't even know that was a thing.
I didn't either. It's someone who told me and just like, oh, you want to play? I'm like, I mean, I'll run around with you, I guess. And I'm like, this is just League Pokemon, isn't it? I don't. Listen, my knowledge of League is very limited. ADC, Jungle, Elo, Diamond Four, Faker, Riven. That's all I know. That's all I know, man. So not my cup of tea. It's all I have to say about that. We can move on. That game, that shit ass. Stop playing it. All right, take it away, Simi. It's your turn. Let's talk about the Activision Blizzard stuff.
It's so. Oh fuck! I don't even know how I'm supposed to begin. Because, like, this is a legitimate saga. So, long story short, well, actually, before that, I give some pretext. If y'all ain't know, Activision and Blizzard did merge fucking merge kin to what Square Soft and Enix Entertainment did back in 2003, but not to the same extent. So they're pretty much one big company now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much Activision and Blizzard is being sued by the state of California for um discrimination against Weemies, right? So apparently, what has been going on after a 2-year investigation, the Department of Fair Employment and Housing came to the decision that Activision Blizzard is purposely and directly um discriminating against and harming their female employee base. And let me tell you something, it's real fucking wild, man. They're done. They're out of here. So
Before, sorry, real quick, just before you like, I didn't really know about it. I watched one Young Yeah video on it to kind of acclimate myself. Like, it's a lot. There's a lot of moving parts here, for real. But go ahead, continue.
yeah, so basically 2,000 employees, both former and currently employed by Activision Blizzard, has signed an open letter calling out and wanting action against Activision Blizzard
Mm-hmm.
for this. And since then, it started on the 20th, so 8 days ago, we've been getting stories out the wazoo about what the fuck has been going on within the walls of this fucking company, right? So, like, for example, one of the things that apparently has been happening in Activision Blizzard is something called cube crawls.
Mm-hmm.
And it's where male employees will, after drinking a copious amount of alcohol, will literally crawl into female employees' cubicles and then start fondling them and start sexually harassing them and shit like that.
Um, Cube Cross. That's just wild. I don't. I didn't. I was trying not to laugh. I'm sorry. I tried not to laugh, but they're wildin'. But cute. There's a name for it.
So they named bro. They literally
Yo,
describe in the lawsuit. They describe
that's
um
wild.
the company as frat boy culture, but it's way beyond that. It's just flat out rape culture and whatnot. And it says that it's it has become a breeding ground for harassment and discrimination against women. And quite frankly, they're not fucking lying. So the biggest story is that an employee freaking committed suicide when they went on a business trip
Mm-hmm.
with the company, and a higher ranking executive, he had fucking he had lubricant and butt plugs on these persons, and he was sexually assaulting her and whatnot on said trip and all that fun shit. So
Shake my head, man.
yeah, it's been years upon years of just straight up wild, off the wall, banana shit. Like the type of shit you see in smut world, but it's just like in reality, and shit might be even worse, right? So apparently they had some shit called Bill Cosby suite,
Hmm.
where niggas where there's a hotel room with a big giant fucking I don't want to say plaque, fucking portrait of Bill Cosby hanging up on a wall.
Jesus
And
Christ. Do you see the recent thing I seen was the walkout when some of them they
that
were.
happened today.
Oh shit. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, so they where niggas were going to this fucking going to this hotel room and just do devious shit. I mean, some of them would just be chilling out. Others would be fucking, you know, planning shit. Others they freaking pretty much boosted each other up within the fucking company, so on and so forth. Others, talking about the fucking female employee base and all that other shit. I'm like, dang, this shit real fucking crazy. Um,
How they get away with
also,
this for so long, especially in our current climate? Like, like I don't know, man. Sorry, continue. I'm gonna cut you out. I don't want to cut you.
yeah, it is real crazy. Also, freaking the discrimination against the women in general in this company is just flat out blatant. So, for example, African American or a black woman said that it took her like it was either 2 years or 4 years to just become a permanent employee
Hmm.
and whatnot. Women get fired way quickly and way easier than their male counterparts, and males also get promotions, and they could climb the ladder and grab the brass ring, wink wink,
Hmm.
way faster than fucking women can and shit. It's just like, yeah, this is real fucking wild. So when the lawsuit first came out, Activision Blizzard just denied it. They
Hmm.
said this shit fake, it's wrong,
We
you know.
categorically deny. Yeah.
Then once they did that, 2,000, two fucking thousand employees signed that open letter, calling them out with receipts, stories, all of that. Then they immediately switched up day two and talking about some, oh yeah, we prioritize diversity within our company and we will do our own investigation type shit, right?
Mm.
So today they
The walkout.
yeah, they plan to walk out, and that has caused a domino effect. So now people all across the globe and different everything, just everybody has been coming out in solidarity, not only against Activision Blizzard, but and stand up for equality and to cut squash this toxic behavior within the fucking industry. So, like for example, they had 500 Ubisoft employees coming out and not only signing the same open letter in support against Activision Blizzard, but also calling out Ubisoft as well and saying that Ubisoft needs to take care of their own fucking misconduct within their own company and shit.
Damn.
All over the industry, different companies, influencers, all that coming out and supporting all that shit. And it's like, bro, Activision Blizzard done. They're finished.
We'll see.
They're not getting the fuck out of here. They're done. Because if it was just like a single person suing them, I could see them weaseling the way up. But they're being sued by literally the state of California. What the fuck going on? Like
You,
might be a huge turning point within the industry. But my thing is this. This might be a little more lighthearted, but my thing is this, man. How the fuck do we have culture like this in the fucking video game industry? It's a bunch of nerds working here. What's going on?
I mean, I hear you, but that's that. People are horny, man. It don't matter. Like,
I know that, but it's like, bro, no, the way that they wiling out.
nah, that's like this is like super scummy. You know, like it's not even like a 1-2 situation isolated over 6 years. It's like you guys are just constantly wilding at all times. Like how? How? I don't know, dog. I'm not. I don't. I'm not surprised by this behavior, but I don't condone it. Ay ay ay. That's rough. Truly. Power fantasy and complex. It's the same thing with gaming community. So shit everywhere. I kind of agree with that. We'll talk about that to some degree after the fact, but what was the Ubisoft thing? Like they're having their own problems too, and then now they gotta
Oh, hold on. Let me get the fucking article. I mean, there's a lot. I don't fucking feel like reading all this, but it says,
read the TLDR.
shoot. Let me see. Hold on.
That wasn't a critical hit. I fucked that up. I can't imagine putting up with that kind of thing. That's well, especially because I work with mostly women too. My only problem with this kind of stuff is like, I have so much self respect for myself that I would like rather be like almost homeless and like not have a job than deal with that. Like I just wouldn't deal with it. But that's just me. Not everybody has my level. Not everyone has my fucking ego. My ego is humongous, and I will protect it. I will do something I don't want just to protect my ego. So. Like, oh, this what's happening in this company? I don't need y'all niggas. Fuck y'all, and I'll leave. Knowing I fully needed them. So, that's just not Epics, though. That was like,
All right, let's see.
Go ahead.
Following the expression of solidarity with Activision Blizzard employees, the authors of the letter turned their attention to Ubisoft's own problems. We, the undersigned, have had enough, it says. It has been over a year since the first revelations of systematic discrimination, harassment, and bullying within Ubisoft came out. At the time, you acted surprised to hear of these acts going on within your own company, and we gave you the benefit of the doubt. However, we have seen nothing more than a year of kind words, empty promises, and an inability or unwillingness to remove known offenders. We no longer trust your commitment to address these issues at their core. You need to do more. The letter alleges that Ubisoft management has only taken action against the most public offenders, while others have been allowed to resign or have been transferred or, in some cases, promoted away from the problems they cause. It depends that it demands that they be fired instead. It also calls for a seat at the table for employees when it comes to deciding how to move forward from here. Several high-profile Ubisoft employees, including Vice President Maxime Bellin, Chief Creative Officer Sergei Hasquet, Canadian Studio Managing Director Yanis Malat, and
Hey, Antetokounmpo! Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
And Global Head of Human Resources Cecile Cornet all left Ubisoft following allegations of workplace misconduct throughout the company, but none were fired. Ubisoft Singapore managing director Hughes Ricoeur was removed from his position in late 2020 following an investigation into multiple complaints of sexual harassment, but he wasn't fired either. Instead, he was transferred to Ubisoft's head office in Paris and now serves the company's production intelligence director. So yeah, Ubisoft also had some fucking wild shit. I should say, still has wild shit going on. So what I was trying to get at was, I feel like a domino effect has happened. I feel like there might finally be a big change because both Blizzard and Activision are two of the biggest companies within the gaming industry. If they take a fucking hit like this, then finally nobody's safe. These big companies can't just say, well, whatever. Yeah, it didn't happen. And then fucking the lawsuit, it gets thrown out or whatever the fuck, or they somehow win because it's too small or whatever, and then they just keep it pushing. But there's no way Activision Blizzard is getting out of this.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, but I would not be shocked if they do get out of it. Put it that way. Like no outcome would shock me. Let me turn this down. This is loud, isn't it?
But yeah, the whole world's eyes are on this shit. You got at least countrywide, so the entire U.S. video game industry in the U.S. is on this shit, and it's becoming like an actual federal thing and not a civil thing. I feel like this might be the fucking push that this goddamn business needs, but we shall see. It's about damn time because the way niggas be slurping up Blizzard like they can't do no wrong. I said, dang, that's crazy.
I mean, again, when I hear about a lot of this behind the scenes stuff, I honestly just expect it. I mean, it's probably somewhat wrong to think that. I'm not shocked by any of this. It's just I guess I'm surprised that considering the times that we're in, what happened in 2018 with like the Me Too movement and stuff, that this didn't just come out earlier or whatever. But usually this stuff has like the snowball effect. You know, you get one company and then it kind of gives other people the courage or the will to speak up, and then everyone starts to speak out. My only issue with some of this stuff is like I'm an evidence guy sometimes, so it's like your testimony or hit longer and stuff is cool, but like if you have like I need like a real life receipts sometimes. But I trust me, I believe it. A lot of this stuff that do be happening. I mean, I'm in companies where I see some shit that shouldn't be happening. So it is what it is. But yikes, Nintendo have to be Hitler to crumble. yeah, Nintendo's not going nowhere for the time being. I'm gonna get them one day. I'm coming for them. They gonna die one day.
So listen, one day.
The long term payoff. Long term payoff. Word to last. They gonna come.
That long term W. Listen, man. The war not over yet. I will not rest until they in the dirt with me.
You're cynical by nature. Yeah. I learned that I was a cynic. I didn't know that I was one. I thought I was more of a skeptic than a cynic. But Nora, the clinical therapist, made me realize how cynical I was, and I didn't want to be like that. Skeptical is fine, but I don't want to see the world as this bleak thing all the time, I don't think that's healthy. All right. We'll see what happens, but I'm glad you said that, Mikey. That's the perfect segue. Hold on. Let's talk about Steam Deck being the best thing since sliced bread. Do people still say that? I still say that, but this was really, really cool. Who showed me this first? I think Chris showed me this first, and it was like, yo, what? But Simi, explain to people who don't know exactly what it is, what the Steam Deck is, because some of my friends are like, they actually just like, I'll just use Steam, it's better, and I'm like, son,
what?
Read, just read. That's the article, but go ahead. Sorry, give me a second. I'm grabbing water.
Wow. Yeah, dang.
I got some coon friends though. You know this.
Yeah, I know. In the words of my lady, I hate idiots. Anyways, so just as the header says, the next best thing since sliced bread is the motherfucking Steam Deck. Now, don't get me wrong. Valve still fucking sucks. I fucking hate them guys. And not only that boy Gabe Newell's a fucking chungus. But they might have struck gold with this. So, long story short, TLDR, the Steam Deck is a handheld gaming PC. A portable gaming PC. So, not a laptop, because Lord knows, them gaming laptop, they are not fucking portable. Not in the least. Them should be like fucking 15 pounds by themselves, then the charger brick like an additional 4 pounds. That being said, so Steam Deck is a small form factor gaming PC. So entire PC, like it's not just like a console. No, it's an entire PC in the palm of your hand. And boy, let me tell you, this shit crazy. So it runs on Steam OS, right? And it runs on Steam OS, which is on top of Linux a Linux distro, right? But it's at its core, it is still a PC. So you could do everything that you want, or I should say, you could do everything that a PC can on this. So if you wanted to completely wipe the hard drive and instead install Windows on it, you could do that. That means you would have access to not only your Steam library, but your GOG library, your Uplay library,
That's too powerful, dog. That's so powerful.
EA Origin
That's so
library,
powerful, nigga.
your Bethesda library, your Battle.net library, but for Blizzard.
Keep talking dirty to me. Keep talking dirty to me.
And Yo, Game Pass Library. Oh my God, we don't buy games in 2020. But anyways, right. So here's the thing. So as I said, it's a full-blown PC. So it has all the I/O, which stands for input output, that a normal PC would have. That means if you wanted to use it as a desktop, you could. It has a dock, but it's sold separately. If you was to just put it on your desktop or put it on a table and connect it to a monitor, you could use it as a normal computer. You could connect it to a keyboard and mouse and a monitor and use it as a full-blown desktop right then and there. It is a fully fledged PC. It's not just a handheld. It can't just only run Steam. No, it is a fully fledged PC. So not only that,
Switch come
as a
outside.
as a PC, you know what that means, boy. We straight borrowing games. Yup. We on that emulation pack. You know, if you want to hit up the old Russians, get some games, borrow some games, you could do that. Boy, you could watch your anime on that bitch, install VLC player, MPCHC, let's go. Boy, you want to install Photoshop, it don't matter. You could edit your videos. I don't know why you want to do it on that, but if you want to do that, you could do that. You could read some manga on that. I don't know why you would do that, but you could do that, bruh. You could do everything. Oh my God, boy, you could install that.
Open your mind.
Go on and hentai, boy. Oh my God. Listen. Oh man, oh man, oh man. The possibilities are endless. Bray. Son, I said there's no way. There's just no goddamn way. The Mad Lads finally did it. Here's a crazy thing though.
You
This
son
is
of a
not-
bitch, I'm in.
This is not the first time that a portable or handheld gaming PC has been made. GPD has been making portable gaming PCs for at least 3 generations now. The latest one is the GPD Win 3 and whatnot. But the difference between those third party handheld PCs is that two things. One, since they coming from very small companies, very small manufacturers and shit, it's super duper expensive. They don't have the means to, make mass produce these things, right? So they're expensive. Not only that, since they're small, they have to rely on unknown Chinaman folk to build a shit, right? That's not, and of course, that's not knocking these things. It's just they're expensive. The Steam Deck, the quote unquote weakest version. I mean, because all 3 versions come with the same hardware. It's just the only difference is the storage. Costs as much as a fucking Switch. Bro, it's over with. Now the problem of price is gone. There's just no way. Not only that, but you can expand the storage via micro SD. So you could throw a 1 terabyte micro SD card in that bitch and it's over with. Son, are you kidding me? This is a game changer. This real life game changer.
Who do you think you are? I am. Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me? I number 5. That's right.
Damn it, right? Yo, that shit never gets old. I don't know why,
But
nah,
it's
incredible for real. I didn't even know it went that deep because I didn't know it did all of that. But what I knew was enough to get it, and I said, "Yeah, Nintendo, you're done. You're cooked." As
Yeah,
Bitch would say, "Cooked."
So it runs on Steam OS, right? So Steam created their very own operating system, right? So Steam OS pretty much it caters towards those dweebs who just need the more console experience, right? So Steam OS feels like your PS4, your Xbox One UI and whatnot, right? With your fucking main menu and shit, and you install games on the main menu. You got the little store and all that shit, right? So that's just by itself. So even if you wouldn't like use it as a computer and tinker and install Windows instead of use the Linux that it comes with, right? That's still your entire Steam library. Nigga, I have over 1,000 games on my Steam library alone.
That's it.
That's just Steam.
I'm kidding. I'm
Nigga said
kidding.
that's
I,
it.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Right? So, like, bro, that's a lot of games at my fingertips alone. But if I want to take it a step further and install GOG, Game Pass, Uplay, Origin, like, bro, Epic, it's over with. And then emulators, boy, PS2, PS1, PS3, Dolphin, Game Boy, PSP, DS, bruh. There's just no way. There's just no way.
It's a wrap.
So the screen, you see, they were super smart with it too. The screen is 720p. So with the screen. Wow, I'm gonna talk no more.
I see
The
Zodiac on
screen,
Stardew Valley. I see you. Wait, sorry. Go ahead.
the screen being 720p
I gotta play that,
means
man.
now that they won't have to put super duper powerful and chunky hardware in the system, which will greatly skyrocket the price for us consumers. So they was big brained, bro. So and not only that, first of all,
Oh my god,
y'all
I'm scared. What was that? Sorry.
y'all dweebs
Scared the
y'all
shit
be
out of me.
playing on y'all Switch anyway, right? That should be like 480i. So I don't want to hear no complaints about no 720p. Y'all don't play
Nah,
nothing
bro. It's
in
at least 650. Thank you,
Y'all was
Abdel, my
not
boy, my guy, my friend, for the gifted subs. I saw what it was. I get it now. Sorry, I do what the time was. Go ahead. Sorry, Sibi.
So y'all don't even be playing games in HD regardless. That's number one, right? Y'all be talking about I stay strapped with my Switch Joy-Con boys, all that other shit, right? Y'all be playing 40i every day. So
You know, y'all playing Skyward Sword in HD, dog.
uh-huh. So 720p is a godsend for y'all. That's number one. Number two, somehow Valve was able to get a custom made. So just like how Sony and Microsoft be having a custom made CPU and GPUs and they shit, they have a custom made CPU by the good old boys in red at AMD. So it's like, bro, this should really finna be doing numbers. It's targeting 30 FPS, but at the end of the day, it's still 720p. Bro, if you're not playing no shit, like if you're not trying to play no shit like fucking Cyberpunk on max settings, nigga, we are good. It not only that, but it could play everything that's out now. Son, it's over with. This is a godsend. Valve really knocked it out of the park. Fuck them guys. But they got my money on this one. This shit wild.
Right. Sorry, just out of curiosity, is there a release date at all? I actually didn't check it out. Somebody ordered it for me. We can talk about that later. But you know, I know I'm getting it. But it's just I don't know. I actually don't know I don't know when it comes out. Actually, I didn't check that at all.
So the estimated release date is Q1 2022.
Okay.
But the other two models, so the high end quote unquote, so the one that comes with the 512 gigabyte and NVMe SSD, and then the cheapest one, the 64 gigabyte EMC card one, it said Q2 2022, so that got pushed back.
Mm-hmm.
But they targeting a release date of early 2020, so at least the first quarter of 2022.
Okay. Do you want to segue to the shitty handheld now, or you have more
No,
to
no,
say?
no, no, fuck that. Wait, not right now. Cause listen, I need to hear your input. Cause bro, this could be a lot of people's gateway to PC gaming. Period. Cause oh, I ain't got no space. I'm stupid. My fingers can't work. I don't know how to build PC. All that other shit, right? So this could be their gateway
No, this
to
is
PC gaming.
that's a good point. Like I don't have a problem with PC gaming, but there was a point where I was a console person, not because I was too lazy to figure out like the PC stuff and I'm building it. I'm like, oh, I'm too stupid. I'm dumb. I'll just press buttons on the controller. But obviously, as time went on, I more and more got on PC gaming. First of all, it's way more affordable and better, and this shit's just stronger than consoles. So like, there really is no reason to not do it. But ultimately, too, sometimes what a lot of people are going to need is a midway point, like a stepping stone. So, okay, you don't jump straight immediately to PC, but if you get the Steam Deck and kind of understand the mechanics of it, using that, it might just automatically push you to just like, I'm gonna need to start PC gaming more in general because I have a lot of friends who are still super duper console only. Oh, it's not on Xbox or it's not on Sony. Well, so be it then, you know. So I actually haven't spoken to too many of them about it yet, so I'm interested to see how they will feel about it. But I know my friend, one of my boys, Carlton, he saw it and he's like, bro, fuck a Switch. He's just like, I need this. Like, but Carlton's like me though. Like he'll play on anything for the most part as long as it's good and it runs well. So but when I first saw it, I was kind of still on vacation, so I didn't dive into it. But then the more I saw about it, I'm like, yeah, this is raw. Cause I didn't know I was able to like get GOG and all the things on it, so that just made it even more raw. But just based off what I thought I can do with just the Steam related stuff, I'm like, to me, this being just the same price as basically the Switch is dope. On top of the fact that I legitimately enjoy kind of like handheld gaming. I like being able to take my shit on the go. So like I'll be able to get a lot of really dope gameplay segments in. Like if I'm in the car waiting for someone to shop or something. Like oh my god, that shit's gonna be strapped to my to my fucking hip. Like I got the thing on me, nigga. You know what I'm talking about.
Answer your question, Mike, I'm getting the 256 gigabyte NVMe SSD one because I figure
That made no sense to me.
the 520 gigabyte one, that's cool and all, but I figured for the price, I'm like, if I could already expand the storage via micro SD card, then 256 gigabytes enough. Just have the operating system on there, and then a few smaller games, and then on the 1 terabyte micro SD card, I can put everything else on there. Right? So I'm getting the middle option, if you will, and that's a cool thing. So the smallest option is Switch price, then the middle option is a PS5 price. So both options that most people would choose from is within the range of what they was already paying to begin with.
That's
They
that's a big key.
brained it.
That's a big key. Because they can't, like you said, they can't complain about the pricing and stuff, and all these moving parts and yada yada. It's like, nah, bro, you pay what you would pay for something else, and you're getting something even better.
Yeah, like, cause me and my sister was laughing, especially my sister, cause this dweeb, I showed her this dweeb in the comment section. He's how hard he self-owned himself. He was talking about, oh, I don't see what the big deal is. This shit costs as much as a PS5. So yes, for PS5 money, you could get an entire fucking gaming PC. You absolute moron.
Yeah, he was lost. He just you know what? You know how we always say sometimes when someone says something, it just actually highlights their ineptitude. That's what he did. He thought he was saying something, and was like, "Oh, now we just know you're dumb."
Yeah, he lost. He lost the game.
He lost the game because he decided he decided to play it. You didn't have to play. We would have never known. We'd have never known. Idiot, dumb, goofy.
And it's like and of course, just to go a little bit more into it, so it has twin sticks, so you have your little fucking little joysticks or whatever. It has face buttons. Then it also has
Big.
the gyro sensor, so it has motion controls if you want to use that. And it also has the trackpad that Steam has been slowly but surely mastering over the years with their previous hardware releases. So that's what, 3 different ways of input. And not only that, it also has a few extra buttons like on the back and like on the right where your fingers go, where you holding it, and they are all customizable. So you can fully customize all the controls for each game however you want. Switch between all of them whenever you want. So now you're not SOL when you're playing a game that's like meant to be played with a mouse, for example, all right, and not an analog stick. And I'm like, yo, they really covered all of their fucking bases. This shit is so raw. Like when I saw it, I was already losing my mind. But then when I've been watching the videos on IGN because they have exclusive coverage on it for this
Okay,
month.
I didn't know that. We'll have to watch that later.
But I'm like, bro, it just looks fantastic. It looks great. I know some people complain about, oh, why it look like that? It look like a Neo Geo Pocky. It is that and the other. It ugly. Whatever the fuck.
What
Right?
do?
It looks great. It looks like they really put like a lot of thought into everything, not only into what it could do, but how it feels when you hold it, where the buttons are, aerodynamics, all of that. It's like, bro, this shit finna be fire, man. Like, bro, you about to see me with that bitch everywhere. Oh my god.
I'm gonna keep that thing on me. I'm ready. I'm young and I'm ready. Nah, this is gonna be. This is. What I'm constantly thinking about is what kind of impact will this have throughout the gaming community? How will it percolate to other things? Are other companies gonna have to really step their game up? Because I think this is a huge game changer. So I'm interested to see how the gaming market and landscape will react to this when it's actually out and it's all said and done. So I'm excited.
Yeah, because people are talking about some, oh, it's not gonna be that popular. Oh, well, Steam has come out with other hardware before and they fail. Just that and the third, for starters, with the former.
I bet the person who said that is ugly.
Yup. With the former, the freaking reservations when the reservations went live, it crashed fucking Steam, period. That literally only happened during the fucking summer sale. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So it crashed Steam and the reservation, like you can't even actually, I'm lying to you. Can you still reserve this shit? Actually, no, you can't. Yeah, the reservations are done. So they reserved everything, all their stock that they had was reserved, period. And apparently what came out was the the reservations were for like the first initial wave and then the second initial wave and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. So all of that's gone. So they're really not gonna see no restocks probably until like assuming everything goes out smooth and it comes out Q1 2022, right? We're not gonna see no restocks until probably at least Q3, late Q3, if not Q4 2022.
Yeah, if you pretty much didn't get it immediately, you just calm down.
Yeah, the reservations aren't open anymore, Mikey. So yeah. And people, you already see people reselling the reservations for over $1,000 and shit on eBay and all that craziness. And then the ladder, what the fuck I said was the ladder again? Oh yeah, the hardware thing. That's the thing. Valve has been paying their dues by coming out with hardware over the years.
Mm-hmm.
They have experience coming out with hardware. This is not their first time coming out with hardware. They had the Steam controller, they had the Steam machine, all of that, but they was learning. And that was their attempt at breaking into the hardware industry, into the physical console market, right? So they was grinding their teeth. That's not a negative, that's a positive. Then we finally saw that pay off with the freaking what the fuck is their VR headset called? Hold on. Give me a second. The Index. The Valve Index is the most popular freaking VR headset out. Not only that, but before they came out with their own VR headset, they was working on freaking the HTC Vive, which is one of the most popular ones that has Valve technology in it. So they was already showing their prowess with that. So it's not a negative. I'm like, bro, I don't know why these dweebs trying to come out the woodwork and try to anti-hype. Like, bro, just sit down. Just sit down. You know how popular Steam is. People who don't have PCs have freaking Steam accounts.
That's a fight.
But now,
Oh,
okay, now I'm officially doing a rant and a rave. This shit gas.
yeah, it's gonna be a good time for sure. Oh, I guess a portal. Oh my goodness! Like you gotta really think about it. Like think about it. Open your mind to the possibilities. Open your feeble mind.
Like, bro, imagine. Now, of course, you would still need to be connected to Wi-Fi or at least directly connected via
I got my phone with me.
LAN.
I use my phone all the time
But
for my internet. So it's fine.
but you could literally play MMOs on the go. So imagine your WoW, fuck Blizzard though. Imagine your fucking Elder Scrolls Online, your Final Fantasy 14. Y'all love that game, right? That bullshit ass game.
What about Pokemon Unite?
Anyways,
I upset
your
myself
Black
saying that.
Desert, your Blade and Soul, whatever the fuck, right? You could play that on the go if you wanted to. Your Guild Wars 2, all of that. So like, bruh, it's a full blown PC. It's not a watered down hat. No, it is a full blown PC. Everything you could do on a PC, you could do on this thing. Nigga, it's over with. It's over with. Stop talking to me.
All right, stream's over. Yeah, it's it's amazing, and it's just unfortunate because then they gotta try to transition into the fucking what's it called, the OLED.
Yes, boy.
So we just talked about some super gas, and the Nintendo Switch said, first of all, this is just a scam, and it's also trash. I don't care if anyone sells me. They ain't do nothing. Is it just the screen is bigger, my nigga? Is that it? Is that it?
No, 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 no,
What
no.
what like is it actually more powerful? Like from my understanding, the
No,
screen is just
it,
bigger, or
it's
some
not more
or
powerful.
it's a different type of screen or
Yeah,
some
it's a
shit.
different type of screen. So I'm gonna
That
tell you. So look, so you're not wrong when you say it's a scam, but it's not. So ugh, this is the annoying thing about it because having an OLED or AMOLED screen is really a big thing because those types of screens are so vibrant and able to display such a wide spectrum of colors that it's night and day between when you look at like a normal monitor and like a OLED screen. So for example, if anybody in the chat has a Samsung Galaxy starting from the S9 to now, right? Those phones have AMOLED screens. This is what caused me. This is what pushed me to buy a 2K monitor for um FYI. Those screens are absolutely fucking beautiful. The colors are vibrant and bright, and it's able to display so much more than your normal everyday average monitor that looks gray and washed out, so on and so forth. So that is important. But the thing is, why would they come out with a mid-gen upgrade but only change the screen? You might as well have just waited and threw that in when you could increase the hardware as well. So that's how it's a scam.
that's
You pay.
that was my point. Like it's not any stronger. It's just the same fucking system, right?
Yes, it's the same system.
that would only matter when I'm playing handheld, correct?
Yes,
So once I dock it, there's a fucking matter.
exactly.
Yeah,
It's your TV screen.
yeah.
so
It's actually laughable.
so like because that's the annoying thing because like I- I'm one of those people who want to heavily push for monitors and screens in general to start implementing OLED and AMOLED screens more often and make them more commonplace, right? Because I think the way my phone looks is just so goddamn beautiful. That made me jump to 2K from 1080p. But just to solely add that to a console that's only 50% of it, you still could play on your TV and add nothing else. They scamming, boy. They on the Ed and Eddie shit, they scamming. I said there's no way. They could added no type of nothing. Oh, they also added a freaking um Ethernet cable to it. Nigga, get the fuck out of my face with that shit.
Yeah, like what? I don't know, dude. I didn't expect much, but I saw it and I said, "There's just no way." Like, people was mad excited for this. They were talking about it. I'm like, okay, that's gonna be more powerful and stuff. We'll see. And then it's like, the screen better for handheld only. What else?
Yup.
Huh? They're like, huh? I was like, what else did you guys upgrade? It's like, wait, we have to do more. And the worst part about it is, I will give Nintendo fans credit for this and this only. I would argue that I saw a lot more negative comments towards it than I did see positive comments towards it. Though I did see some fucking dick sucking. I saw a lot of dick sucking. I did, but I thought a lot of people would just be okay with it, and I was surprised and shocked to see that a lot of people were like, "Ew." Like, even some of the Nintendo zealots on my timeline can't do no wrong. They're like, "Yeah, this was not it, bro." So I don't even like mid-gen upgrades. In all honesty, I'm not
Me
a fan
neither.
of that. I'm not a fan of that. I really think it's kind of unfair to people who were there from the get-go, and like you kind of shaft them a little bit. This is why I don't have a PS4 Pro or anything of the sort. But this is not even a mid-gen upgrade. This is just like if I could find a way to just change the screen on my own Switch, fuck you guys. Like I don't have to do all that. Like so,
But you actually probably could, by the way.
if I was competent, but I'm just saying. But I don't know what I'm doing. Like I'll break the shit and then I'll need the OLED. So fuck them. I don't
Yeah,
watch.
they really scam it because like that's an annoying thing because like that is a good thing, but you don't just do that and that alone and say here you go pay more money for this and
Uh,
throw a whole new name on it, all type of shit. Brad, one step forward and 7 steps back. What's going on? But then again, it's Nintendo. You know they can't do shit right. Fuck that company.
That's a fact. I'll say this too because you mentioned something that's important. Now I obviously can't. I didn't know the difference in the screens to that level, but I remember like the level of vibrancy and clarity in my goddamn phone when I finally got rid of my iPhone 6 and I got the 11. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, so I imagine that the screen looks a lot better, but that's just not enough at all. Like, I just don't.
Or especially when you consider the fact how the games look. So now you're just gonna see fucking ugly ass, low polygon, fucking barren environments
You're gonna see some,
in better colors.
you're gonna see some crispy ass mid. Oh shit, fam. All right, I don't know what the Sony Tard cat thing was. So you're gonna have to explain that to me too. I'm not aware of this. So
Okay, so apparently some dork, right? Some Sony general in that fucking drone army was pretty much saying in layman's terms that Game Pass is the enemy, right? That it's bad for business on this Triple H gimmick. And the reason why he was saying that is because he was trying to make the argument that game production costs too much for you to only pay $9.99 for it.
okay, oh,
Right.
that was the tweet that you sent me. Okay,
Yeah, so in that article is explained what the fuck he was talking about. He was talking about how, oh, well, if a game production is $120 million and you pay $9.99 for it, that's just not fair. That's not good for anybody. I'm like, start for starters. How about stop spending $120 million to make one video game, you fucking bozo?
that's a good start.
That's number one. Number two, you do realize that fucking um Microsoft has to pay every single developer that whose games are on Game Pass. Just like how Epic has to pay the developers to make their games free on their weekly shit. Same thing here. They're not losing money. They actually. No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I honestly find that statements like that are made for the people who are not like us, who are like deeply into it, who could be like, that's stupid. It's more to tricks to kind of. I feel like that kind of argument would work on people who don't really know in depth. That's why I think they say stupid shit like this. Honestly,
Well, absolutely. That's Sony's entire freaking game plan. Is say a bunch of freaking shit that seems smart to freaking gather in all the masses since they don't fucking know no better. To gather in the fucking troglodytes and
this
the
character's
nutty
fucking trash. Oh my goodness! I got fired 3 times in a row and healed all the enemies. I'm tired. You're done. You're done. You're benched. Fuck this fucking character. I'm sorry. Continue.
buggers.
Oh my.
So, like, for example, if y'all remember that infamous state of play when they was introducing the PS4 Pro, I believe it was, and these niggas was talking about some, oh, it got 4.1 teraflops. You think any console player that's strictly in exclusive consoles knows what the fuck a teraflop is?
That's a fact.
Now look, fast forward to today, and you have all of these dweebs on my time and talking about some teraflops. Get the fuck out of my face. See, they're not slick. At least I know what they're doing. I'm educated.
Yeah.
I know exactly what the hell they're doing. And it's just so frustrating to see them get away with this bullshit. They just say big words and say a bunch of shit that console players know for a fact they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But because it's Sony themselves saying it must be good. Right? So this dude, he met like the entire article is cap, right? So that's number one. He pretty much was just trying to say that Game Pass bad and that
Yeah.
and trying to make his argument on why Sony not going through no shit like that. But then he started segueing and talking about some, oh, in today's market, a lot of different type of games can't come onto the main stage. For example, rhythm game. Rhythm is one of my favorite genres. Parappa is one of my favorite games, and games like that can't become popular today. I said, you just fucking lied. Unbeatable is coming out like within next year. What the fuck are you talking about?
He lied in 4K for no reason.
Talking about some rhythm game that coming out today. I link Unbeatable too in my fucking quote to you. I'm like, bro, maybe on the YAL platform, but the rest of us who don't willingly put chains around our ankles and our neck, we got games to play.
You
We got
don't.
different genres.
Wait, you don't do that? Loser.
So it just more freaking Sony brainwashing. It just absolutely fucking disgusted me, man. I'm like, yuck. First of all, why? How about y'all stop trying to make every single last one of y'all first party games some big fucking blockbuster thing where it's more art and all that shit. Stop spending $120 million
You
on
made this
every fucking.
game with one cut from behind the camera continuously. Like, all right, you don't. I mean, all right, it's cool, but
Okay, how it play?
you don't gotta be doing all that. Like, just make the good game. You know what I'm saying? But hey, you continue.
Make some double A games, make some freaking indie games, make some smaller budget games. How about that?
No, God of
You
War 5. We actually
okay?
use real lightning to charge the thunderbolts of Thor. Yeah, they be extra with that shit. Honestly, I
Yeah, and it's
appreciate it to some degree, but sometimes I'm like, I think it's unnecessary a lot of the time. I'm like, yo,
yeah,
just
we don't need that with every single fucking new release.
yeah.
So and just the Sony tards, try to trash on Game Pass and all that other bullshit. And I'm just like, y'all so sorry. I almost feel bad for y'all. Almost. I don't, but almost.
Like
Y'all real
I
sorry.
think that'll help you save more money and play games in a great way. You're mad at that? You want to pay more with Sony? All right. I mean,
Yes, we,
that's kind of my problem with a lot of these things. It's like, why are you arguing to pay more money? Like, are you stupid? Like, are you actually dumb? I don't care how much money you have. It's stupid to just want to give it away for no reason. Like, yo, shout out Game Pass, man.
you should want to spend $70 on video games
No,
because
I shouldn't.
the
I don't, and I don't. Actually, I wish it's not $70 here. Shit, 100. Fuck.
oh my
At this point, I'll take 70, nigga. Fuck, man.
because the cost of video game production is so high, you should want to support the developers and all the talented people that made the game. Yeah, all right, man. Game Pass out. Now you got my first month $1. Then after that, 9.99. Let's go.
Talking a bunch of nonsense you should want to. All right, man. You live your life according to your ideals and your nonsense in bizarre clown world. I live in the real world. I work hard for my money. I'm not trying to give it to them.
Oh
So,
God, I'm not.
what about the developers who? What about them? What about me? My back is broken. Oh shit. Anything else on that?
I do not believe so. Fuck that guy. Some ugly ass dweeb talking about some bullshit.
You just look like a PR specialist. Like, how do I damage control? That's literally what he looks like. He looks like a damage control nigga in the company. Oh god, like, and we're like, who's this guy? I'm like, if he's not like some type of DA in case anybody in the company gets in trouble, he's the PR guy. He just looks like it. I don't know, but all right.
Consultation is the enemy of diversity. Yeah, okay.
You thought you said something smart, but you didn't. So let's talk about the seventh generation of gaming, how it really was, because it seems to be a lot of, according to Simi at least. I mean, I think I agree with him. Honestly, a lot of richness history the seventh generation because it really wasn't that raw at all. On God, it wasn't. Like it was kind of mid. I'm not gonna hold y'all, but was there a specific thing that triggered this? Like why you wanted to speak about this? Or
Yes, it did. Yes, there was actually. So I've been seeing on my timeline recently a lot of folks coming out the woodwork talking about some, oh, the 360 smoked the PS3. I said, on what earth? What earth you live on? What 360 you playing?
RFC 124-1 AB.
Because the 360 did not smoke anything. Like it, and that's what really triggered this entire freaking topic of mine. Because it's like, listen, the seventh generation was the first generation that I not only lived through from beginning to end, but where I had a developed enough brain to understand what the fuck was going on. Because I lived through the entirety of the sixth generation, but nigga, I was just out of fucking diapers when the PS2 came out. So like, you know, nigga, I was just playing video games. Right, I was just going to the fucking mall and begging my mom to go into GameStop so I could get a new game, right? I didn't know what the fuck was going on. By the time the seventh generation came out, I had more of a brain and I understood more how the business worked, and I was directly a part of that last great console war that we had with Sony versus Microsoft, right? So I remember all of this vividly.
What about the Nintendo Wii though?
Now hold on, we're gonna talk about Heat. Don't worry. So to see people come out the woodworks and say that the 360 smoked the PS3, where? What 360? Where was I when this happened? Because it did not.
Did they even do that from a sales standpoint? Like
No.
genuinely? I was gonna say I genuinely I'm pretty sure remember. I don't know if they won overall. I think at some point I remember the Wii was at first in terms of at least console sales. I don't know though, but I haven't checked that shit in a while.
No, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna get the numbers.
All right.
I'm gonna get the numbers. Cause that's why I said we're gonna talk about the Wii in a minute, but because we gotta talk about him in his own freaking category. So let me tell you. So look, the Xbox 360 sold roughly 84 million units. The PS3 sold 87. Who did the 360 smoke?
The PS4. How many PS4s got sold? I don't know.
So it's like it let me tell you, it most definitely did not sell no fucking PS4 neither, because the PS4 got 115 million.
And there it is.
So anyways, it's like, bro, listen, I understand, right?
What's up,
when the generation first came out, the 360 came out on top. Why? Because the 360 was what, $399, and the PS3 was $599 USD. It was $600.
Oh
Nobody.
Yeah, the original PS3 was OD expensive. I paid 180 for mine.
We know about you, but the rest of us normal human beings who don't have the privilege of we means buying them shit, we had to spend 600 USD. And I'm telling you right now, nobody was affording 600 USD in the year 2006. Right? That's the reason why the 360 edged out at first, right? Because the PS3 is the epitome of being over-engineered. It had way too much going for it, which drove up the price. That's 600. When I first saw the price reveal for the PS3, I said, "There's no way I'm ever getting this console," and I already chalked it up that I wasn't getting it, and I was just playing on my PS2. Right, so that's why the 360 edged out on top for those first few years. It was more affordable. It had exclusives on there, and it had the better internet. Right?
Okay, hold on. Before you go, it's epitome, but a kicker.
Oh, okay.
You said epitome. It's epitome. What's going?
I'm not full. So, um, that's the reason why the 360 edged out on top. Now, don't get me wrong, it was a neck and neck race throughout the entire generation. Neither one of them smoked each other. So why y'all even trying to say that? It was an actual competition. They was at each other's throats. It was close. So I don't know where these people coming out of the woodwork talking about 360 smoked anything. What are you talking about? Like, I could understand if you like the 360 more, right? That's perfectly fine and dandy. But don't come out here and lie and say freaking it smoked the PS3. No, it didn't. It
So
had a 3-1 lead and it blew it.
I was laughing because in my mind, without even actually knowing all the statistics and facts and sales, I'm like, I would surmise that in terms of overall sales or whatever, it was the chasm wasn't large. Whether each one was whether Xbox or Sony won, the chasm wasn't large. Because I remember like that was like you said the last real great console. Where I'm like, yo, you were like you legitimately had great reason for getting either or. Like I understood if you were a 360 man, I understood why. Now I was never an Xbox guy, but I could understand it. It was a good system in my opinion, honestly. I just wasn't I just didn't care for Microsoft or any of that stuff because they had a lot of games I didn't really play. And back then I was still a Nintendo guy anyways, unfortunately. So, but yeah.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? So it's like, listen, it was heated. I was on the front lines with y'all. I was a Sony tard back then. I used to come into school every day, feuding with my boy, son, my nigga Dante. I knew this nigga since fucking kindergarten. It felt like a stab to my damn heart. That nigga was Team Xbox. We was on our Naruto Sasuke gimmick. I was fighting with this nigga every day, right? So I was on those front lines. I understand, right? If you have your bias for either or. That was the last great console war. We probably never going to get one like that ever again, right? So that's perfectly fine and dandy, but don't just come on my timeline and lie. Talk about the 360 smoke. 360 didn't smoke anything. Yes, the 360 edged out on top in the first half. Yes, the 360 has a way superior um network infrastructure. And yes, when the Sony outage, the PSN outage during the mid time in its life cycle happened, that greatly hurt it. But no, the 360 did not smoke anything. So shut the fuck up with it. Y'all annoying. Why y'all trying to revise this history? That did not happen. I was there. I know it didn't happen. Stop that.
I was alive and well.
I was present. Damn, the numbers online. Now, speaking of that, so the seventh generation is a really funny thing. Because once I get out of the sales, I just want to talk about it in general with you because I think the seventh generation is a really interesting case study.
Okay.
But you see, good old Nintendo, back when Nintendo was still good, Nintendo managed to somehow, some way come out with the sixth and second best selling console of all time. The only person that was smoking anything was Nintendo. Nintendo smoked the entire industry. The Wii is the sixth best selling console of all time with 101 million units sold.
Okay, I was right about that. Like I
PS3,
remember that like being on top for a second. Go ahead.
yeah, PS3 and 360 was fighting for second and third place. That's it. So I don't know why y'all trying to say no Microsoft smoke anything. Neither one of them was smoking nothing. They was choking on freaking Nintendo's coattails. And then the goddamn DS. the second best selling console of all time. 154 million. Nigga. A console that can't even play in HD. Smoked the nigga that had a built-in Blu-ray. Smoked the nigga that had the better network, the better internet, online play. So shut the fuck up. What are y'all talking about?
Yep. It's kicks. Okay. It's actually funny that I actually ended up remembering that correctly because I'm like I'm like I distinctly remember the Wii actually winning in terms of, I think, overall units. I can't speak to like overall collective sales of video games and all that, but I remember from a standpoint of like it was like the family system. Your grandma could play in a swinging ball with you. Like that was like their gimmick. So like it became like the system for everybody. While I would argue the 360 and Sony was more for the hardcore gamers. That was it. Because I remember being a part of the console wars. Because I'll just be like, yo, I'm a Nintendo guy, man. Don't worry about me. I would just engage just to be a dickhead. But I was just like, I'm on the outside looking in with some Nintendo stuff. You know what I'm saying? So. I didn't know the DS did all that. That's very interesting to me. But
Yeah, so
the DS was solid though. It was solid. I had no problem with the DS.
mhm. so
The
um,
DS was mid though.
so in your opinion, Yeti, how do you feel about the 7th gen as a whole? Because in my opinion, I think the 7th gen was the last good generation that we got. And it might stay that way for the as long as I fucking live. It had the PS3, the 360, the Wii, the DS, and the PSP. Those were the five generals that led the generation. So how do
You
you feel about that generation as a whole?
you had me at PSP baby.
Mm.
A PSP baby. The PSP. I still have this shit. I still use it. It still functions. I got everything. I honestly do not like the PS4. I think it's mid. I can't speak on any Xbox system because I didn't play any of them, so just eliminate that for me. I think the PS4 is whack. I legitimately think the Wii U games that were actually good are really good, honestly. But there's six of them. There's like six good games. On God, like, bro, what? Wonderful 101, Bayonetta 2. Sure, I'm gonna throw Smash 4 in there. Fucking Mario Maker. Goddamn, god. See, I'm already racking my brain for fucking video game. I'm already struggling. I named four games, and I'm like, what the hell else? Like, Xenoblade Chronicles X. Shit. Okay, there you go. Like, you're right. I like five for you. The shit was whack. The system itself, I thought was convenient because I could still like, I could kind of have the TV on or whatever, but it wasn't good. The Wii, I understand it was gimmicky. It wasn't great. It wasn't good as looking as the PS4. Wasn't as powerful, but it actually has a really incredible library of games. I played a lot of the Clash of Ninja Revolution. I played One Piece Unlimited Adventure. I played the Punch Out remake, which I think is a really good remake for
Ooh, oh
Punch
my
Out.
god.
Um, did I play Okami on Wii? I know I played the Metroid Prime trilogy on Wii. I'm Super Paper Mario is a game that I like. The last good Paper Mario actually, even though it's not as good as like the old like Thousand Year Door or the 64 one. To me, that's the last game of the old kind of Paper Mario. Every Paper Mario that's been fucking cock on the sock. So I hate all of them. Um, I would the PS3. I had fun with. It's better than the PS4. I can tell you that much. It's better than the PS4. I would probably rack my brains to think of all the games that I played, but I played a lot of fucking PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale and stuff. So there's that. But I agree with you. I don't think this. I don't even think this generation. Actually, you know what? I can't speak on it because I haven't played like the PS5 too much or anything like that. But if you were to ask me what the last solid generation was, yeah, I'd probably go with that. The DS is a good system. I don't like it as much as the Game Boy Advance, honestly, but I think it's a really good system. And I'm not gonna lie to you, the fact that having the PSP and a DS where I had an R4 where I can download any game I want, and my PSP was hacked to shit, boy. I can damn near time travel with that nigga. Like I could do whatever the fuck it needed to do. It's just you're not beating that, son. So it's easy for me to say that that was the last really good console system. It's not my favorite from top to bottom. The PSP just elevates it to in my opinion. I think the PSP is the best thing there, honestly. But yeah, the shit was go. But I could never speak on the Microsoft side because I really didn't play. To this day, I probably have like an accumulative like 30 like maybe 30 hours of playing on an Xbox system, honestly. If even 30. 30 might be a stretch. I might have a day's worth, honestly. I do not play Xbox, nigga. I just don't play it. I don't like the
No, I
controller.
understand it.
And I just, no one, in my world, that just wasn't something that you played. No one cared about it. I didn't care about it, so I didn't play about it. But you're not wrong. But the Wii has a under. I actually had this conversation the other day with one of my coon friends, and I'm like, the library for the Wii is actually pretty damn incredible. It's pretty astonishing. I think it's good. Like I even remember playing Tenkaichi 3 on the Wii first, and I liked it on the Wii. That's fun. But anyways, go ahead.
Oh, yes, sir. So like I'm not as hard. I should say I'm a little bit higher on the seventh generation than he is. I do think that just the PSP alone hard carries the hell out of that generation, but I think that the PS3 was actually a really good console because there's a lot of games on there exclusive that I played too, right? So just the Uncharted trilogy alone, that's 3 games, right? Then you got freaking Killzone 2 and 3, that's 2 more. Then you got Infamous 1 and 2, that's 2 more.
I'll play
then
those.
You got
I'll play those. Okay, fair enough.
Then you had the Resistance trilogy, that's 3 more, right? I mean, I could throw it The Last of Us, but I hate that shit. So then you have freaking God of War 3, you have Heavenly Sword.
Naruto! Oh shit, nigga! Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot about that shit. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it had a lot of really good. It had a lot of really good exclusives on there, in my opinion. It had a lot, man. Infamous 1 and 2, man. That boy Cole McCraft, like, son, that shit was just so gas. Man, with electricity, nigga climbing, he gliding on the freaking on the electricity cable. I'm like, yo, this shit gas. Like that game was so fire. I was losing my mind. Right. So
I forgot when I blew up that city by overcharging the thing. I actually didn't mean to do it the first time. I said, oh fuck.
So like, yeah, I think the PSD had a lot of good games on it. Right. So I think it was a really good console. It's unfortunate that it started out over engineered as fuck, and then they had to remove features little by little, including the backwards compatibility that it had. But at the end of the day, I still think it was, well, I know for a fact it was able to come back and win the race. But in terms of software, I think it was able to really come back and save itself, regather its footing and whatnot. It had a lot of good stuff on there. And as he said, the Wii is greatly underappreciated software wise, at least when you're talking amongst small communities, amongst your own neighborhood and whatnot. Not when you look at the sales and shit, because obviously, look, but yeah, there's a shit ton of games that I have hours on the Wii. Talking freaking WarioWare Smooth Moves, talking Tenkaichi 3, talking Clash of Ninja Revolution series, talking No More Heroes 1 and 2, talking Mad World. Oh my god.
I played Twilight Princess there.
Res Evil 4 on there was fire.
The original Xenoblade Chronicles.
So that console has a lot of good
Mario Kart Wii is actually my favorite Mario Kart, honestly. So sorry, I just cut you off, but
she had the freaking. Well, I think I might have just been borrowing it from somebody, but
Okami's where I played. I played Okami on Wii. Tatsunoko versus Capcom. Oh man, stop playing with me, nigga. Tatsunoko versus Capcom. Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn, bro. Yeah, y'all cooked.
I mean, I know you don't like Brawl, but I like Brawl a lot. That boy Ike was going crazy in that game. Subspace Emissary was cool at the time.
Okay, that was cool. That was good. That was heat. That's how I like the game.
But yeah, like the Wii had an absolutely phenomenal
Star and Punishment. No, Sin and Punishment.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember that shit. I actually played the fuck out of Bleach, Shattered Blade. I won't lie to y'all.
Hit me too. Hey man, listen. It was the only Bleach game that we got in English at the time. I took what I could get.
I did my Mario Party 9 was mid though. That wasn't it. Red Steel was on that shit, right? I low-key liked Red Steel a little bit. Was it Red Steel? I can't remember what it was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mario Party 8, I did. What was that? What was the Sora, Mickey Mouse game. Epic Mickey. Yo.
Yes.
And Loki slapped. And Loki slapped. And then I didn't pay for. I didn't buy it. And Loki slapped though. It was fire. Oh my goodness, fam. You know what? You know what trilogy I got? Not trilogy series I got into during that era too. Trauma fucking Center. Doctor Styles.
Oh.
The one on the Wii where each member of the medical team was different. You had the surgeon, the forensic scientist. You had the first responders, the bone expert, the like. Oh my, yeah, you're just bringing back memories. Yeah, the Wii. I always say like, okay, because we put the hardware, the graphics, blah blah blah, but they actually had hella games. I promise, if you took the time, they had mad games, bro. It was lit. It was a good system.
Yup. Yeah, it was absolutely fucking fire. And like, I was great freaking
Mm-hmm.
FPS on there. I remember this game called The Conduit. The nigga freaking, he had like, there was like some fucking superpower orb that the government had.
Yeah,
They
that's
could try
Fire
to
Emblem.
steal it.
Tenkaichi,
Man,
yes.
I
What's
was
up, Trent?
playing
Mm-hmm.
I was playing freaking Conduit online. Man, I must have been playing with some toddlers because I was just murking the fuck out of people in that game. So they had this like kind of like this hot potato game mode where you had to pretty much the objective was to hold on to the conduit as long as you can, right? So it will spawn on a random place on the map, and then whoever gets it, they pretty much have to run around and keep a hold of it for as long as they can. Whoever holds it for the longest wins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I was going crazy on that shit. You could have sworn I was playing NFL Street. I was juking the hell out of everybody on that bitch. Man, that game was so fire. I don't even know if anybody played that. That shit was so fire to me at the time. Then they came out the Wii Motion Plus.
For
Son,
I use that for Skyward Sword, 100%. Yes.
son, the game it came with, Red Steel 2, had the freaking the samurai cowboy.
That was the
Oh
one. It was
my
two then. It was two,
god.
not the first one. There we go. I knew.
Yeah, because the first one was fucking kind of mid. But that shit was funny. They could talk about some bloody guy shit. But anyways, son, Red Steel 2. Oh man, I'm like, son, this shit moving with my hand. Oh my god, that shit was gas, boy.
Dog, you guys don't understand how hard a nigga went with the Clash of Ninja series, son. Clash of Ninja Revolution 1, 2, and 3. They had that. They made up two characters, some cyborg nigga and some Spider-Man ambu bitch. You just fling in the air. Yo, we went so hard in that game for no reason. Like, yo, come see my Neji, dog. My Neji clap for you. Are you crazy? My Neji is sick in that game. Oh man, am I forgetting? I'm not forgetting. There's something big I'm forgetting. But sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that Punch Out remake, man, that game was so crazy. Fighting's like breathing, Mac. Oh, that game went so bananas, boy. Like, nah, it was so raw. When you go through the initial playthrough, right? I'm already game done. No, now you gotta defend your belt. Son, that shit was gas. And you literally just fight everybody again, but now their patterns are completely different. I'm like, bro, this shit is so gas.
I 100% gotta throw what should call it? The Mario sports games in there. We play. This for strikers for the soccer one. The GameCube one's a little better. Won't hold you, but me at me and my bro were cool. We played a lot of Mario Sluggers. The baseball one. We played a lot of that together when we was cool. But I won't lie to you. I played all them Sonic games. Listen, I had a good time. All right, so, 7 rings in hand. I had a good time. I want to fight tonight. They're like, bro, why are you gonna have sword? I don't know, buddy raw. You go crazy. I had a good time. I also played SSX on this. SSX something. I want to say Blur. Maybe it was 3. I don't remember which one it was, but I had the SSX game that I played on it. I played the fuck out of Wii Ski and Snowboard. I don't know. I don't remember how I got it or why I had it, but me and my little sister was going crazy in that game for no reason. For no reason. Yeah,
And
that library is elite, man.
So, the console,
When
you see
Nintendo was raw, when they were raw,
yep,
man.
that's the last time they was wrong.
That's a
Then they
fact.
lost their minds. You
Then,
hate to see it.
then they wanted to be some fucking mid.
You see, the seventh generation, the reason why I say the seventh generation is an interesting case study is because during this generation, right, this generation normalized and made it a more household concept of online play,
Mm-hmm.
right? So consoles now had built-in Wi-Fi adapters. So you didn't have to have a RJ45, aka Ethernet cable, to play online, right? It could wirelessly connect to the internet and you didn't have to pay no separate price or whatever for some game servers or whatever the fuck. It just if you had internet access, it could wirelessly connect to the internet and you could play with people online, right?
Please stop. Please stop for 1 second. 1 second. I just
Yeah.
googled all these games, and I would be a fraud if I did not mention Penya Super Swing Golf Season 2. I played the shit out of Pangea Fantasy Golf. Shout out to Korea. All right, go ahead.
I mean, anything else on that list?
I'm looking right now. I'll mention anything that I see that's important. Keep going though.
So yeah, because the PS2 had online play, but you know damn well, us as kids, well, at least if you're in our range, we didn't have no fucking Ethernet cable in hand. We didn't know where the fuck the router for our internet access was at. I had no idea how to play online. And then with Xbox, only the most privileged people had that, where they had their parents paying for freaking Xbox Live and shit, right? So online play was still a complete uncharted territory for most. I know it was for me, absolutely. So when the seventh generation rolled around, that was a
Thank
lot
you,
of
Yak,
people's
my guy, for the gift of subs. Right, go ahead.
that was a lot of people's gateway into online play. And the industry had never been the same since. Now you have online updates and DLC and all the other fun stuff. You have digital storefronts, PSN, Xbox Live Arcade, all that other shit, right?
Yeah.
So all fine and dandy. But the reason why I say the seventh generation is interesting,
Interesting
stays
case
cutting,
case study.
is besides that, on the PC side of things, man, they was in a dark age, let me tell you. Those mid to late 2000s
Mm-hmm.
was really bad for them. Why was it bad for them? Because that's when developers started shifting from making games on PC first and pouring it to console to make it on console first, then pouring
Putting
it
it
to
to PC.
PC.
Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of games that they was getting on there, because this is before the whole advent of Steam. Steam might have been out at the time, but it did not have the monopoly that it did have had now, right? So people still had to buy games mostly physical and shit like that. And not only that, that's when Windows came out with that god awful games for Windows live service and shit. I'm not gonna talk about that. But yeah, people started to buy games physical for the most part. And most of the games they had to get shitty console ports, shit barely work, barely any resolution settings, freaking barely any graphical settings, period, missing effects, crashes, all that other bullshit, right? But something else was thriving during that dark period, and that was
Black people.
MMOs.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
This was easily, in my opinion, the golden age of MMOs. I'm talking about the advent of WoW, Guild Wars, City of Heroes, City of Villains, Aeon Online, um, RuneScape, what's the other one? Fucking what's that 2D one? I keep forgetting the damn name. Fuck.
Nigga.
Wow.
Nigga tails.
Wow.
Was I close? Am I winning, son?
No, not yet. Maple Story. There you go. Maple
I
Story.
remember that game.
Son, even Doofus, I was on that bitch. Son, shout out to French this one time.
Hey. Wait, I'm not French. Why did I get offended? Can you speak it?
Oh,
Why did I get offended?
that MMOs were greatly thriving at that time, and it's so funny because while the I would say the mainstream of the meat and potatoes of PC gaming was pretty much in the mud at the time. The fact that MMOs thrive so much, I think that what what was helped the PC become more mainstream and more of a household affair instead of exclusively an enthusiast hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I got two letters and one word for y'all, DC Universe Online.
Ooh, I went crazy on that for a little bit.
Yeah, when that came out, right? And that got a full blown console port. So you could play it on PS3, you could play it on 360. I think that was the thing that caused the cataclysm to make PC gaming in general just more mainstream. When MMO started getting full blown console ports, because man, let me tell you something. I couldn't go a day in eighth grade without somebody telling me, yo, get on that DC universe. I'm like, bro, I don't got the internet for that. I'm telling you right now,
Mm.
I was never able to play that game. Never in my life, boy.
To this day?
To this day.
To this day! To
To
this
this
day!
day. Son, that download, it crash, it hang, it take forever, and then even if it do download, the game gotta install now. I never got past the installation screen. I'm just sitting there looking at the fucking screen of fucking Batman, fucking Superman and fucking Wonder Woman just standing there looking at me, and
Hey,
it's fucking
my,
bar,
you saw me?
the bar not even moving. I said, fuck this shit, I'm not doing this. I'm gonna get on my Black Ops, man. I'm not doing this. But yeah, when that game came out, everybody was on that bitch. I don't care who you was.
Even I was
They,
playing it.
they
Well,
look, look,
I mean, I'm a comic book guy, but like that's not really my type of game. But I said, hold on, Superman, my mentor, we in there. Let's get it.
right. So I think once that game came out and it showed that not only was MMOs capable of being ported to consoles, but that there was a market for it.
Yeah.
I think that was what helped make PCs more mainstream, and that helped push a lot of people to start playing games on PCs and whatnot. Because now, look, we got Black Desert on PS4 and shit, got all types of other MMOs straight up on console. Now we have literally Twitch right here that was freaking made for streaming games. Got how many people who got a computer now playing games, even if they just play casually, they still playing games on their computer. So it's just so crazy how on one side of the spectrum, consoles was thriving, and on the other side of the spectrum, the PC was fucking in the mud. But then they rose through the mud. Shout out to Phoenix. Now look at them. How you feel about that? How you feel about my little blue truth, Yeti?
It's a very interesting correlation because it's like obviously you could be rationalizing a little bit, but it's hard to not see it now because like they both had an effect on each other's success and failures at certain times. So I'm like, you know what? I like it. It makes sense to me. I can't confirm it, but it makes sense to me. I don't have any problem. I like it. It made sense. You know what's interesting about it? Like thinking back to it, right? I think that might have been the first type of game that I ever played, which just let me know whether or not I do and don't like it. But I actually remember when Blade and Soul and Black Desert and stuff was coming out initially, and a lot of people that I know who didn't mess with that kind of thing or like only played the consoles, they were trying to find all kinds of ways to play Blade and Soul and play Black Desert. They were on Korean servers with their shitty laptop trying to get into queues and all kinds of stuff. So like, the dots are connected, but I'll have to think about it a little bit more. But that's food for thought, man. And your point about that being the kind of almost the last generation where like maybe I think of the Wii only because the Wii you didn't really have updates like that, but it is a good case study. That generation is the last of a dying breed because a lot of things just changed in general all across the board for the gaming industry and landscape after that generation. You gotta think, oh my goodness. How did you even start to connect those dots just out of curiosity? Like, what
Well,
made you? Okay, go
two
ahead.
things, right? I've had this conversation before with my sister, right?
Fair
But
enough. Fair enough.
I from the me being my own experiences because I used to watch G4 heavily at the time, right? I mean heavily. And I never ever forget seeing the commercials for freaking City of Heroes and then City of Villains, the pseudo sequel slash expansion. I never wanted to play a game so bad before in my life. I'm seeing these niggas freaking flying through the city at top speed, running up buildings, fighting, picking up cars, trade your own character. I'm like, bro, this shit is bananas. And at the time, my sister was playing one of the most popular MMOs during that generation, which was Guild Wars 1. And then me as well, I was playing freaking Doofus,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I already had experience dabbling within MMOs. And then watching G4 and just seeing how popular things like WoW was and just the millions of players. Every other commercial, I'm seeing some new expansion for WoW. Every other segment on the show on G4, they're talking about how to get this armor set, how to defeat this boss, so on and so forth. Right? That really stuck out to me in my mind growing up. Right? Because not only was it was a grass is always green on the other side sort of thing, that was a world that I didn't have access to. So I was just naturally interested into it.
Mm-hmm.
But just the fact that I'm like, they talking about millions of players. You gotta pay to you have to pay to play this game, and niggas still doing that. That was so like bizarre to me. So that always stood out. And then as I grew older and as I started playing my own MMOs and shit, and as I started to get more knowledge on it, all those things just clicked one day, and I said, "Wait, hold on, what's going on here? I think I got a theory."
That's so interesting to me. I just never. But you know what? Our experiences were different because I didn't really get into like the PC stuff really until like what until Undertale. So I wouldn't have even been able to make that. But that's it's interesting that you came to that conclusion. It's very
Cause
impressive.
I didn't like don't even get it twisted. My sister had a fucking compact. This for one of the worst companies out. That was a PC manufacturer at the time. That computer was excuse me. That computer was fucking awful. Like it could not run games. But as a budget gamer, she was still on that bitch playing Guild Wars. She'd tell me that sometimes the whole computer would just crash trying to load a new area. It did not matter. She went through that entire main story numerous times. It just did not matter.
I respect it.
Numerous times she in the party, they try to do some missions. They load up. By
She
the time
gone.
she load up,
She gone.
they all gone, bro.
Oh,
Right?
that's,
So, and I was playing Doofus on that, man. Doofus was easily a budget game at the time. The graphics was super duper simple. It was 2D. You know, the battle system is turn based. It's strategy turn based too. So we have the grid. You have to move your character and shit, and so on and so forth. Right? So even that game, I struggled to run on that computer, and I couldn't have nothing else open. I remember one time I had Internet Explorer open and Doofus open at the same time. Forget about it. Every other day, niggas telling me buy a new computer. Nigga, I'm in sixth grade. I'm just sitting there like, dang.
what do you want me to do, man? Like I can do nothing. That's funny.
So I still had that just a little inkling of experience playing MMOs and whatnot, and just my overall time watching G4 and seeing the constant ads and commercials for MMOs and how popular they was, and everybody talking about them. I had no way to play them, so I just thought, dang, that's really popping. And then one day it just clicked in my mind. I said, dang. And you know me, I'm just a historian in general, so I like looking at history and documentaries and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're definitely a video game historian for sure. Cause
So
remember we was speaking about the game preservation. We're like, nah, you can't do this. You can't do this. This is
yeah,
history gone.
and Sony was like, okay, we now going to do that.
All right.
But yeah, it's it's just really interesting because now that I have my own PC and I like to play games from many moons past, and a lot of those games during those mid 2000 eras, I'm playing now. I'm like, dang, this is an awful fucking port. Got the max resolution at like fucking um 900p graphics option, just resolution, brightness. That's it. No type of save states is using freaking auto saves and whatnot. I'm like, dang, them homies really in the mud bad.
Super in the mud. Oh, I'm about to talk about that a bit more because That's interesting. Let's get to the next two topics, and then we'll call it. We're almost at 2 hours. That's not bad. Okay, so I want to talk about and chat. You join in too because I'm interested in knowing what you guys have to say about this because our game experiences are all different. We start at different times, but what would you say are your biggest issues with the current gaming market and climate, and what could be done to improve those things? That could be anything from a general thing like how companies run themselves, how they release games, DLC. You could be mad at a specific developer or whatever the case is. So share anything it is. I'm gonna start with, I'm tired of them releasing incomplete games. That's the thing that bothers me the most. It's just not done, bro. It's not done. It needs to go back in the oven and cook some more. And you're releasing the stuff for full price. People are pre-ordering it, this and that, and the other, and I don't like that. Then you have like a day one, 100 gigabyte patch. Like, what is this? Like I'm I am so not with that. That bothers me. I don't know what the solution is, but the solution is finish the game. But I just like the Cyberpunk. I just had a bad feeling about it. All things considered, I still want to play and I'll get it, but that game was just not finished, bro. It was not done. Why do they release these games when they clearly need more time in the oven? Pokemon Sword and Shield was not finished. That was not a complete game, bro. You guys paid $60, whatever, plus tax, where you come from, and then they gave you the complete game and made you pay for the DLC. The DLC should have made in the base game. You guys paid $120 for no reason. Y'all sorry, but yeah, go ahead.
No, absolutely. That whole unfinished, and we gonna finish it later gimmick is easily one of the worst atrocities to ever happen to the business because they took something that could be used so greatly,
Do I have it? Oh, okay. Sorry. Go ahead. No, go. Sorry.
which is the internet, right? And they just immediately use it for bad. So instead
Frame
of
one.
but like immediately, boy. Like it's not even funny. Like instead of okay, we could add in things, free updates like new skins, new cosmetic, so on and so forth. And then also if we have to squash any bugs, no. Nigga said we're gonna develop the game 25%, release that 25% for full price, then drop the rest of the game within the year. What the fuck is going on? Dash, and it's something that we still suffering from to this day.
It's they can't keep getting away with it. That bothers me. Y'all know I don't like DLC. DLC is mad annoying because half the time the DLC that I get out. But first of all, this should be in the game. You guys have Day 1 DLC. Like it wasn't downloadable content. The whole original initial point of it was I made this complete game. It's super cool. You guys will like it. It's dope. Oh my god. After completing this game, I thought about something really cool you would like from a cosmetic, from a level, from a gameplay move, whatever the case may be, and then you add that after the fact. Why do I just feel like DLC has just become like we're just gonna not put this in for now, and then we'll just like wait 2 months and then you know what I'm saying? Like it just the whole practice of downloadable content is just very scummy to me, and it was scummy for a very long time. That shit bothers the hell out of me. I can't stand it.
Yep, absolutely. And the thing is, like, freaking expansion packs and DLC has existed since the freaking 90s, right? There have been expansion packs of PC games for as long as people can remember. But it's like, once the advent of making that whole concept for consoles mainstream occurred, once again, they just immediately used it for bad. I forgot what somebody said, but if a game has a DLC like has like either a season pass or like a DLC trailer when the game comes out or before it comes out, then that content was or should have been in the base game, and they just charging you extra for it.
Mm.
I think that makes sense because you still need time to develop that expansion. So how is there an expansion already ready before the game came out, or as soon as the game came is out?
Day one,
It,
day one. Like what? I don't know. I can't stand it. There's so many. There's so many issues I have. You know, Nintendo stink.
oof.
They smell.
A big one that
They
I
could be.
hate.
They could have been super giants, but they decided. No, I'm joking. Go ahead. I haven't been joking in a while.
One one practice I dislike a lot is the constant fucking more remasters.
Yeah.
They doing the same thing that freaking TV and movie are doing. Well,
Reboots.
you know, we too lazy to come up with new ideas, so we're just gonna dig up the graves of these old popular things and just resell it, and now make us some quick money. This shit is ass. That's the entire reason why I switched to PC gaming full time during last gen. Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, well, hold on. What the fuck is this PS4? The whole library is just PS3 games that I fucking own. But
Is,
oh,
it,
now it's
is it
60
that many
FPS.
remakes? Actually, you know what? Last of Us had a PS4 bundle, like something something. You know what? You might be onto something. I probably didn't know this, but I didn't pay. I honestly didn't play that much PS4. I won't lie to you. I played the Walking Simulator, your favorite game, Firewatch. PS4.
So it's like, yeah, all these constant remasters, and then the shitty arguments that they use to brainwash people. Oh, now it's accessible. Oh, now it run better. All type of other shit. Like, bro, this game is still available legally to buy. Why the fuck am I paying double A to full price for it if I either A already still own it on this vanilla console, or B to go buy it for way fucking cheaper? Oh well, nobody wants to go dig up their old PS3 and hook it up.
I
It's too
have
many
no. It's
ports.
mine's right there. It's not a problem. It's right there. It take me no time to plug it in. 2 seconds.
Oh fucking second. Same thing. My shit is right on my desk, behind my fucking second monitor. Get the fuck out my face with that shit.
Like
Nobody wants to do all that. It's too many chords. That's a lot of work. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? This whole more accessibility bullshit. And that's the argument they use for a lot of things. Why you not playing this? Well, it's not accessible. Maybe they re-release. Like, bro, what? So if they already
you know how lazy this generation is. They don't do nothing themselves. Just give me the thing and give me instant gratification. I don't want to do nothing.
instead of coming out with like a whole slew of brand new games and experiences, niggas literally just re-releasing games that came out the generation prior. Not even 2 generations ago, the generation that just ended, and reselling it to you. Oh, look at this Uncharted collection. Now you can play Uncharted 60 FPS. My PS3 sitting there just staring at me. Oh, Last of Us collection, you
You
get
know,
Last of Us,
you
60
know,
FPS.
you know what was bad? Remember when Kingdom Hearts was doing all that fuck shit.
1.5,
1.5,
1
2.5, 2.8, and then like, all right, now we just put them all together for the alt, bro. And they put, and I know people who bought it every single time. I said, son, I bought 1.5, 2.5 came out, I got it as a gift. 2.8 came out, I got it as a gift. And I said, yo, you get the one with all of it? I'm like, I literally had them all separately. What's the point? Why not buy it again? What is wrong with you guys? Why do you a million? There's only one video game franchise in the history of my life that I've like triple dipped for, and that's Ace Attorney. I got it, and if you think about it, I played Ace Attorney initially for free. That's why I was okay getting it the first time on the Wii. I'm like, you know what? I had that on DS on my R4. I F with it. Here you go. Then I got the trilogy on Switch. So that's like the only thing I can really think of. But I really mess with that game, and I have a fun time playing it every time, and I don't regret it because I got my best friend into it. Because now me and Brina can talk about Phoenix Wright, the trilogy. She beat the trilogy. Like that's so gas to me. Like my best friend does not play video games, and but she's like, you know what? I mess with this type of game because it's just more like it's like reading comprehension, retaining information, and applying it where you need it. I can do that. So I don't even regret it. Otherwise, a lot of times, like, how many times do you think I'm gonna buy this game, bro? I'm not buying this game. Like, I don't know, man. But hey,
Yeah, it's super fucking frustrating. Like, if I already own it, why the fuck I'm buying it again? It's a plate on the fucking current console. That's fucking stupid. I'm not doing that. I'm not wasting my money. If I
um,
own Uncharted 1, 2, and 3 on my PS3, I'm not buying no Uncharted collection so I can play it on my PS4. I'll just play it on my PS3.
and there it is. It's that
What the
simple.
fuck?
It is that simple.
And you see
What
something
else?
like Ace Attorney,
Yeah,
just so I go on just a little bit longer, every version is freaking different. The Game Boy Advance version, mad grainy,
that's true.
mad pixely, audio. It's a Game Boy Advance. DS version added the freaking voice mechanic. You can literally say hold it in objection, and that shit will work.
Take that.
That's all. Then the HD remaster bundle all three games, upscale the sprites, game look beautiful type shit,
That's a fact.
and put it on more platforms. So at least those are different. They're different from each other. They enhance the game each time.
There's also a number of dialogue changes that to make stuff make more sense, more consistent, and because like I remember correctly, the Game Boy Advance version had like this like the weird like turn a onigiri into a hamburger. Like they would just Americanize the weirdest things for like no real reason. So a lot of the dialogue is a lot better. Because I remember for one case, especially with Adrian Andrews, they used the word codependency, but they misused it. Because by definition, codependency was not what she was going through in terms of what happened. They changed it after the fact. So there's actually some like quality of life updated for like the actual story itself in text. And you actually reminded me of that. I forgot.
Yeah, there it is.
I'm amazing.
Versus these fucking remasters that make the game look and run worse than the vanilla version.
Hey man, you didn't want to get Mario 3D All Stars, man? So you can get your mind blown in a way. Oh my god.
They got sold it for 3 months. They talk about we not selling it no more. Ah,
They're like, yo, I admit one thing. They might have gotten me with that Fire Emblem bullshit. But I'm lucky that I just one day I just emulated the entire Fire Emblem on my like all the games on my laptop. So by the time they dropped the original Shadow Dragon, like I already played it. I'm good.
rapper said it that to you too. You said you good.
Look, I done played that. First of all, the old Fire Emblems make me do math in my head myself. Fuck y'all. I don't like math.
I mean, this is a nitpick, but I don't really like this whole controller culture that we got going on.
Mm-hmm.
Why a controller costs me as much as a fucking new game?
Mm-hmm.
And then y'all treating these like upgraded controllers as like flying saucers. Oh, look at this elite controller. What the fuck is an elite controller? Nigga, it's a controller. Press the buttons.
Yep.
You got folk out here spending over 100 for a controller because it got the word elite on it. What is going on?
I get my controllers for less money. So, my controller I got specifically because I knew it would work on my PC too. That's actually that was the main deciding factor. Like it works on Switch and my PC, it'd be good. What else do I not like? I don't know. There's a lot to go through. We might have to revisit this another day. What's the last thing I said?
You was the one that you said was freaking unfinished games. The one
Yeah.
I said was remasters.
And I also said I don't like DLC.
Yeah, you don't like this.
Nintendo stink. OLED
Nintendo.
stink. Pokemon stink. Blizzard stink. Super Game Giants GOAT. CD Projekt Red, the
Defund.
worst people on the planet. He said defund. Yeah, there's a lot of problems that I don't like with it. I don't like how some developers try to like manipulate. I mean, you know what? This is not a game industry exclusive thing. A lot of companies do this, but like what we spoke about earlier with that guy coming out and saying a whole bunch of nonsense because he knows that the general masses who don't really dive deeply into video game history and lore and understand all the machinations of the machines, if you will, and you know, they're like, oh yeah, it makes sense. Oh yeah, it's bad. Oh, Sony keep making money. So like, fuck them niggas. They ugly. Yeah. Okay. Now let's end it with this because I think it's an interesting question. If you guys are still in the chat, definitely answer this for me. Just a couple of things. First of all, I was thinking about this when I was making the list. I'm like, you know what? Like, what is the reason that I like video games so much? Like, what is the reason? Like, what is the distinct thing that makes you like video games? Because I would argue for you, it's your favorite medium, right? For sure, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? And you can, and then add like how and when you kind of got into them. And I thought it'd be a fun way to kind of end the stream. And then, yeah, I'm a start. And for me, it's kind of easy. Ultimately, at the end of the day, like, I love reading. I love manga. I love webtoons. I love comic books. I like books. I like it all. I like watching shit. I like anime. I like cartoons. I like movies. I like live action shows like Smallville and whatnot. I like all that shit. But I don't have any agency at all. I am simply a passenger. I can only view it. I can only read it unless it's like one of those choose your own story books and you kind of like, you know,
they don't even make no more.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've seen something like that, right? The one thing that I've always liked about video games is that it's interactive. I have agency here. Like, even if it's a linear game, still the way that I played it and Simi played it could be completely different. Simi could have been like, yo, you was using all them status effects and shit? Nigga, I just had sword, attack, and I ran through the game. Like, our entire experience, even though the story is the same, the way that we approach it could be so vastly different. I realized this when I was playing, one of my friends was playing Breath of the Wild. It's just a very small thing. When I see a Hinox, I'm an ape. I'm like, yo, on guard, nigga. Yo, I run to her and I beat its ass. I watched my friend play it. She put on her Sheikah outfit. She ate like a stealth food and just glided on his stomach, robbed it of all his weapons, and just went on with her day. I'm like, nigga, you can do that? Like, like, it's those are the types of things that make it so fun to like video games. Like, you ever talk to somebody who like ran to a puzzle and the way you solved it and the way they solved it was completely different? Or like, wait, you beat this boss? How'd you do it? You might have cheesed it. You might have beat it normally. I might have got lucky with some R&D. Like, there's so many different stories that you could tell across the same video game. We fought the same boss. Maybe I found it easy. It seems like, yo, that shit was whooping my ass. Like, Cuphead. My friend's like, bro, you struck with the robot boss? I'm like, 6 hours, my nigga. He's like, yo, I couldn't beat the fucking dragon. Like, I beat the dragon first try, nigga. Like, that's one of my favorite parts about video games, like the talking about the different experiences, even if the game is as linear as they come. The way that me and you approached it could be different. I play Kingdom Hearts vastly different to all my friends. I could tell you most of my friends play Kingdom Hearts. Already? Ha, ha, ha! They get hit, they press aerial recovery, and they just mash X again. And the moment they need to heal, they just pop their cure and they're right back in the thick of things. I'm dodge rolling. I'm using magic. I'm blocking. I'm reflecting. I'm saucing up on the boss. I'm doing all kinds of extra shit I don't need to do. That's my favorite part about video games, man.
The funny thing is, like, I got the same exact fucking answer. I think that's the main, that's the main positive that it has, because you, the individual, are directly controlling it. It opens a myriad of worlds with how you experience the game, because not only does your interaction come directly into the storytelling of the game, but just the overall experience, problem solving, how you played it, the overall journey is going to be different person to person and more close to home, more impactful to you because you're in direct control of it. And that's what I find so raw about it, because it's just a simple fact that the storytelling goes into how I'm controlling this character, even if I'm not playing as a character I created. If I played as a pre-created character and whatnot, it still feels like I'm in their shoes because I'm controlling them, and I'm, with my own skill, technique, problem solving, wit, so on and so forth, get them through this journey. I'm not just watching them get through a journey. I'm making them go through the journey.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the rawest thing about it. And it's absolutely gas. And then games that specifically target that open ended sense of level design is just absolutely brilliant. I Man, I never forget I'm playing Risen. I'm playing Risen 1. And in those games, I love the first type of skills I ever get is all the thievery type skills. So I never forget. There's this. I joined the Don's men, right?
Mm-hmm.
They in direct opposition to the Inquisition. So I'm in the field. I go run over to where there's a temple at, and it's occupied by the Inquisition. So there's an Inquisition guard standing in front, just standing in the middle of the fucking plane. He aggroes you if you try to walk past and talk about, oh, you can't go to here. You gotta pay me type shit, right? So I said, all right, okay, I'll pay you. So I paid him the money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I immediately pickpocketed my money back. And I went about my fucking day. That's gas.
Yep.
I could do whatever the fuck I want. And nobody could tell me otherwise. And the simple fact, as Yeti said, the simple fact that we could all play the same thing and have completely different experiences, that's the beauty of it. That brings the community together. That's raw. Then throw in the user interaction. So then you throw in shits like mods, user created characters, levels, enemies, so on and so forth. And it's just endless possibilities. And that's so gas.
That's a
That
fact.
would never be gas. Doom 1 came out in 1992, and there are mods made for that game to this day.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's absolutely brilliant, man. It's truly a living art. Always evolving, every day, every second evolving. The engines and source codes. People could make whatever the fuck they want, share it with others. You could directly play what they made, all type of other shit, and it's just raw. It really feels like a fucking community, and boy, is it a community to be a part of. Yeah, there's a lot of bad in it, but just the strictly game playing of it is gas. I would not freaking replace that for the fucking world.
And there you have it, folks. And there you have it. Video games raw. Play some video games, man. All right. We are going to call. We're gonna end it here. We came back strong for this episode. We came back strong. For sure we did. Because we missed like 2 months. We came back strong. We'll have one in August again. But you know what though? All things considered, we spoke about a lot of the E3 stuff and watched some of it though. Even though we didn't make it a quote unquote official episode. But all right, we out of here, guys. Goodbye.